So I am 9 years old, which means this was a long time ago, obviously and unfortunately. I live in India with my parents, younger sister, brother, and we buy a Lambretta, which is like a two-wheeled family vehicle, like a scooter. And we take a ride to the market, boring, we get fed some vegetables, we are crammed up on that scooter, 5 of us. But the kids, we behave very well. So our mom is happy. She gives us like a candy for a reward, which is a big deal back then. Okay. By then, it's like end of the evening, kind of dark. My dad, he's trying to park this. We are back. He's trying to park the scooter meticulously in front of our house. This is this baby, brand new, right? And the neighbor uncle comes over. Now, everybody in India, FYI, is either an uncle or an auntie, which means I have too many to count. But he comes over, he says something to my dad. And I watch as my dad's face changes into grave concern. And immediately summons us all us upstairs. We live on like the first floor, you take the flight upstairs. He shuts the front door, the top and the bottom. We never do that. Our door is always open. And he says there has been a big conflict between like two groups of men and a mob of very angry people from the adjacent neighborhood is going to be marching in our neighborhood like now. Now let me explain. Our neighborhood is like a gated community. We are kind of well-to-do, whereas the adjacent neighborhood belongs to another caste, C-A-S-T-E, and they have practically nothing. They're poor. I know one of them very well. Jiza is her name. She comes to our neighborhood to do the household chores for families. And she brings along, like many women do from there to here, she brings along her daughter. Her daughter's name is Pari. Pari translates to fairy, actually. But people call her Yedi, which means that idiot girl. Right? Because Pari is different. Pari is mentally just not there, and she slurs and she drools, and she has a left upper extremity that's kind of contracted permanently, and she's this weird coriform type of movement. Nobody wants her around. But my mom lets her sit in our house for those number of hours when her mom, Jiza, is cleaning like 15 houses to earn some living. During that time, my mom would give her food, which she practically inhales because she's super hungry all the time. My mom tries to teach her like alphabets and goes nowhere. And my mom tries to teach her some mannerisms. There are times Jiza, her mom, shows up to our house with multiple bruises on her body. Like her husband takes the money, hard-earned, drinks and beats her up, which is not unusual. On those days, my mom fixes the turmeric and tells her, put it on, it will heal. The confidence only a doctor's mom can have. So to a point I want to say is, in my mom's house, we did not experience the divide based on caste. It was only kindness. Coming back to the mob, my dad, he takes us all to the back of the house, which is the bedroom. We sit on the floor, all 5 of us in embrace. And then we begin to hear the mob, the angry, the chants, and the slogans of hatred, and stones being thrown, and windows being broken, and something being burnt. And then the dreaded sounds of people like ascending our staircase and loud knocks on our door, like, open the door. We are not even breathing, and we feel the arms of my mom and dad getting tighter around us. That's the only way they can protect us. Eventually, and it feels like forever, but they don't break in. They leave, and eventually it becomes nice and quiet, and we go outside to find glass on the floor of our living room because the window is shattered. Our Lambretta, the scooter, escapes all of that violence, but the neighbor uncle's scooter is burnt. Now that night, my mom lights the oil lamp, makes us sit on the floor, we close our eyes, and she says, wish for a world free of all this nonsensical violence and hatred and abuse. And we do that. But then I say, we are going to be granted all these big things, I will sneak in something more. So I say, also a candy for me whenever I desire. Big deal. Next day, Jesus shows up to our house with a lot more bruises. And Pari, by this time we are kind of fond of Pari. Pari matters, right? Pari is beaten up too. And I shudder at the possibility in that moment that maybe Pari is the way she is because she was thrown around as an infant. And I came to America thinking I left all of that divide. I escaped all of that divide. Little did I know. So I close my eyes every day, at least once, and I say, please end the racism and the classism. But then I sneak in, not candy, because I know candy is a privilege, but plenty of food and safety for all those innocent children living in all those adjacent neighborhoods all over the world. So every Pari has a shot at a good story. Thank you.